Hello everyone, I'm Sakshi Tiwari and I welcome you to our new lesson. Well, I hope you can recognize this actress. Kangana Ranaut, right? A brilliant actress, once who was made fun of for speaking incorrect English, having bad pronunciation, and not being able to communicate what exactly she wanted to, right? Is now a confident and a fluent speaker of English. Well, I hope you remember this episode of Coffee with Karan where she actually shut everybody's mouth with how eloquent she was. Perfect grammar, perfect vocabulary, great pronunciation. Her choice of words were excellent, and the fact that how beautifully she was able to express herself in English. But how did that all happen? Kangana Ranaut, like many other successful individuals, likely mastered English by focusing on simple yet powerful tricks, the tricks that I'm going to share today. So I welcome you to our new lesson where I'm going to help you know the 3 tricks that you can use to master English quickly and perfectly. The first one is the shadowing technique. Yes, what does it say? See, shadowing is when you actually repeat what you hear. Okay, so you actually repeat what you hear immediately after hearing it, mimicking the pronunciation, mimicking the intonation and grammar of native speakers. And how to do that? See, all that you have to do is you have to choose a short clip like an interview, a movie scene, or speech from someone you admire, right? Secondly, listen to the clip once, okay? Third, listen again, but this time pause after every sentence and repeat what was said, trying to match the pronunciation, rhythm, and grammar, right? Fourth, focus on how the speaker uses grammar naturally in conversation rather than just memorizing rules, right? And of course, keep doing this every day with new clips.
To give you a demo, I have opened a video which is from BBC 6-minute English segment, and first I'm going to play it completely, okay?
I'm Phil.
And I'm Beth. Nowadays, I often see people carrying water bottles with them to make sure they drink enough. How much water do you drink a day, Phil?
I don't know. Maybe about a litre?
Okay, and do you know how much water you should drink a day?
I think it's probably about 2 litres.
Well, the number many people have heard is 2 litres a day. Of course, everyone needs to drink some water. Over half the human body is made up of it. But exactly how much water do we need to stay healthy?
Alright, now I have played it, okay? I'm just giving you a demo. So you have to play it for a minute or 2 minutes as per your understanding. And then all that you have to do is you have to restart it, okay? You have to start from the beginning, and all that you have to do is you have to pause at specific intervals. Play, okay? Listen to it for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and then repeat what was being said or what was being spoken.
Hello, this is 6-minute English from BBC Learning English.
Hello, this is 6-minute English from BBC Learning English.
I'm Phil.
And I'm Beth.
I'm Phil and I'm Beth.
Nowadays, I often see people carrying water bottles with
Nowadays, I often see people carrying water bottles with them
to make sure they drink enough. How much water do you drink a day, Phil?
How much water do you drink a day, Phil?
I don't know. Maybe about a litre?
I don't know. Maybe about a liter?
Okay, and do you know how much water you should drink a day?
Okay, and do you know how much water you should drink a day?
I think it's probably about 2 litres.
I think it's probably about 2 liters.
Well, the number many people have heard is 2 litres a day.
Well, the number many people have heard is 2 liters a day, etc. everybody, okay? And that's how you are going to practice, this technique which is called the shadowing technique, and it's extremely effective. I hope you understand, and I think the podcasts from BBC Learning English, they are extremely helpful. You can always check for them. They always have brilliant content to practice, and the most authentic one as well.
Now, what this technique does is it helps learners focus on real-world sentence structures and grammar in action. Yes, making it very easy for everybody, for you to internalize language rules without feeling overwhelmed by theory, right? It's a practical way to practice. It's a practical way to, make your muscles be habitual of it. It's a practical way to boost your confidence and, get accustomed to speaking out loud and improving your fluency very quickly. I hope you understand. Right? So this was the first trick. The second trick, another effective trick that Kangana Ranaut and many other successful language learners may have used is learning grammar through context and storytelling. That's right. Now, what does this technique say? See, this method involves understanding and using grammar by connecting it to stories or real life situations rather than learning rules in isolation. Okay, and how can we do that? See, all that you have to do is you have to learn a new grammar rule, let's say past tense, or maybe past tense verbs or conditionals or anything, through a short story, okay, or an experience that interests you. Secondly, create your own mini stories or scenarios that incorporate the new grammar rule. For example, if learning the past tense, you can think of a personal memory and tell it using the past tense. Yes, then visualize the situations where you would use specific grammar structures. For example, imagining yourself asking for directions in English. Now that will help you to solidify the use of prepositions and question forms, right? After which, repeat and expand on the story using new vocabulary and grammar until it becomes second nature. Then you can try to narrate your day, you can create fictional characters, or even describe a movie plot in your own words. To give you a demo, imagine that today you learned about using past tense in a sentence. Now, how do we use past tense? We, place the subject, then the second form of verb, and of course the object. All right. Now, rather than simply keeping the rules in mind, or rather than simply reading sentences and using them, you have to learn it to incorporate it in your storytelling. So let's say that let me narrate a story about what happened yesterday. Okay, now through this I am going to practice past tense. Okay, so yesterday I woke up early in the morning. Once I woke up, I brushed my teeth, I took bath, and I worshipped. Once I was done with it, I got ready for my office, and after which I took heavy breakfast and then I left for office. Once I reached office, we had a meeting. I attended that meeting. I took all the notes and I got started with the work that I had. I conducted some sessions and worked on some projects which were, on the priority list. I spent some time with my friends and I had a lovely day. That's how my office day wrapped up. I reached home, I had food, and I spent some good hours with my family chit-chatting. And that's how I spent my yesterday. Now, did you notice that yes, we did practice past tense, but rather than simply, keeping the rules in the mind or speaking some sentences, vague sentences, we actually practiced talking about a situation that happened with me, or maybe a situation that may happen in future. So today when I'm, every day it happens that whenever I go or whenever I reach home, my mother asks how my day was. So let's visualize, let's practice it in advance. So I'll say that, Mummy, my day was good. I completed some of my really long waited projects. I got appreciation from my manager. And with my friends, I had a lovely evening. And not only this, but I also got some social media boost, which I was working on. How was your day, Mummy? Now, again, because I'm working on past tense, I narrated what happened yesterday. And right now, I'm also visualizing and practicing the future conversation that I will have using this particular tense, right? So this is exactly what storytelling technique tells you. If you're practicing simple future tense, conditionals, any progressive tense, anything, just incorporate it in storytelling. All right, let's say you practice the question words. Now you can think of a time in your life when you actually asked questions, maybe to teachers, to parents, and then you can incorporate it in storytelling technique. That, one day in my school when we had the science lesson going on, I was very curious to know that why, this is happening. So I asked my teacher that, excuse me, ma'am. First of all, the teacher was new, so I asked her, ma'am, can you tell me what your name is? Then ma'am responded saying that my name was this. After which I asked, ma'am, how many years of experience do you have? Ma'am, which subject will you teach? I also asked her that, ma'am, where do you live, etc. Now, did you notice what am I doing? I'm not, keeping the rules of the questions in my mind, but I'm, practicing it through storytelling. Okay, and this is exactly what this technique tells you. I hope you're able to understand. It's a fantastic way to actually brush up on your English skills. Yes, right? So by connecting grammar to personal experiences and storytelling, you can actually internalize grammar patterns more naturally and fluently, again, and also with lots of emotions. Now, this method also makes learning fun and keeps you engaged. It's all about using grammar actively rather than just memorizing rules, right? I hope you understand. Now, another powerful trick that Kangana may have used is learning grammar through targeted conversations and language exchanges. What does it say? See, this is called the conversation driven technique. This method focuses on using grammar in real conversations with others, often through language exchanges or practicing with a speaking partner. Now, what it does is it helps you to think on your feet, right? It helps you to correct your own mistake in real time and gain confidence in using grammar very naturally. How can you do it? You can find a conversation partner or language exchange buddy, somebody who's fluent in English, or even another learner who's at a higher level than you. Okay, after which you can set up regular conversations either in person or online, where you focus on specific grammar topic, like let's say using articles or maybe prepositions or tenses correctly in your speech. Okay, don't worry about making mistakes. Focus on the flow of the conversation and getting comfortable with forming sentences on the spot. That should be your initial focus. And after each conversation, review what went well, where you made mistakes, take note of the grammar used and learn from corrections. Okay? And of course, repetition is the key. The more you speak, the more natural the grammar becomes. And this technique is a great way to build confidence and fluency, because you're practicing grammar in the context of real life communication, which helps you remember it way better. It also helps you to get over the fear of speaking, something that introverted learners often struggle with, right? So these were the 3 tricks, the 3 tips that you must use straight away to, become fluent in English. Everything is doable if you're going to practice. And if, celebrities can make mistakes in English, then we, of course, can too make mistakes. But all that matters is that where they were and where they are now. Cricketers, celebrities, everybody, they were good in a particular field, but not everybody was or is good at English. So now it's your time to shine bright, and all that you have to do is follow the right method, right trick, and practice as much as you can. All right, let me know how you feel about the tips and tricks in the comment section. I'll see you very soon with yet another powerful lesson. Till then, keep learning, keep growing. Happy learning.